Turning and U-turning. Turning. It is the change of vehicle to the right or left to pass in another road or if there are turns on the road. U-turning. It is the reversal of a vehicle's direction to the opposite direction of the road. Turning and U-turning road signs and markings. No turning and U-turning signs. They are circular signs with red frame and diagonal and white background. Inside it is a white arrow that indicates in the direction of prohibition. Turning and U-turning mandatory compulsory signs. They are circular signs with a blue background. Inside it is a white arrow that indicates to a mandatory compulsory direction. Mandatory direction sign. It is a rectangular sign with a white background. Inside it, blue arrows of the mandatory compulsory direction. U-turn directional sign. It is a rectangular sign with a blue background. Inside it is a white arrow that indicates towards the allowed place of U-turning. Road turns warning signs. They are equilateral triangle signs with a red frame and white background. It also contains black arrows that indicate the direction of the turn on the road. Turn warning sign. It is a rectangular sign with a white background. Inside it are red arrows that indicate to the road turn direction. It is used in the areas of hidden turns, invisible turns. Turning and U-turning landmarkings. They are marks painted on the road surface in the shape of arrows that indicate to the mandatory directions of each lane. Turning and U-turning traffic lights. It is a traffic light. Inside it are arrows that indicate to the mandatory direction of turning in case of a green light. Procedures of turning, U-turning, and turns. Turning conditions on the road. It is prohibited to turn left in highways if there are no places allocated for this. Turning should not constitute a risk to the driver or road users. If there is no hand signal from the traffic policeman or a sign that prohibits turning. Committing to arrow directions painted on road surfaces or traffic lights. Turning at places without traffic signs that prohibits passing in the required direction. Turning from the correct lane. Turning reasons. Meeting of the road with another road in a T-shape. There are obstacles on the road. There are turns on the road. There is a signal from the traffic policeman or a sign that mandates vehicles to turn left or right. Turning steps. Take the decision before arriving to the intersection and watch the signs. Watch traffic motion using mirrors by looking back and use direction lights for alert. Select the correct lane and pay attention to traffic and pedestrians and potential risks at or near the intersection. reduce speed gradually, or stop according to traffic lights, traffic signs, or guidance signals facing you. It is prohibited to turn at an acute angle or an increased wide angle than necessary, and not swaying or moving between lanes after turning. Leaving through turning and completing it on the correct lane when traffic allows this. Turns on the road. Turning mechanism. Forces affecting turning in the road. When turning with your vehicle while driving, your vehicle loses somewhat of its balance as a result of centrifugal force, which needs an opposite force in order to handle turns. This force is at the level of wheel cohesion with road surface and friction force. Therefore, to reduce the centrifugal force, you have to reduce your speed at turns to increase the cohesion force of wheels with road surface. The more you accelerate, the harder is the turn. This causes the loss of control of the vehicle within the turn and leads to its overturning. Safe turning conditions. Put your vehicle in the proper position of the road when approaching the turn. Use a speed suitable to the angle or acuteness of the turn. Shift transmission to the position that is suitable to this speed. You must be able to stop at the side of the road, within the distance that you can see clearly. Turning on hidden turns on the road. Driving at the extreme right of your lane. This gives an early idea on when is the time to turn right. Driving at the extreme right of your lane gives an early idea on when is the time to turn left. Driving so your vehicle remains in a straight line. U-turning conditions on the road. It is not a one-way road. If there is no hand signals from the traffic policeman or a sign prohibiting U-turning, there is no heavy traffic. The U-turning area must be visible for drivers in all directions. There is no continuous line or pedestrians crossing at the place of U-turning. U-turning does not constitute a risk to the driver or other road users. It is prohibited to U-turn back in highways if there are no places allocated for this purpose. It is prohibited to U-turn at the places of U-turn allocated for ambulance, police, and civil defense cars. U-turning reasons. Road closures for any reason, such as traffic diversions, accidents on the road, or any other forms of obstacles. There is a signal from the traffic policeman or a sign that mandates vehicles to U-turn. U-turning steps. U-turning in wide roads is performed directly in one U-turn stage. U-turning in a narrow road is performed in 3 or 5 stages, depending on the width of the road and the length of the vehicle.